Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. The Conservatives are in deep trouble, and there is only one man that they can blame. That man, of course, is Rishi Sunak. He has no democratic accountability. He shouldn't be in his job. The members voted for Liz Truss, ironically the only Truss with no support. However, the Parliamentary Conservative Party didn't like her, and they finagled it in order to get Rishi in, without a vote and against the wishes of the party members. So it's no wonder that they dislike him. He was foisted upon them and foisted upon the country. But half the Parliamentary Conservative Party don't like Rishi Sunak either. And given that the latest polls show this massive collapse in support and the fact that most of them are going to be unemployed after the next election, all these backbenchers are sitting there looking out over Parliament and going, you know what, the opposition are sitting on the benches over there, but the real enemy is standing down there at the front of my party. And he is losing support and he is losing control, and it's not about time. There is so many little niggling fights, squabbles, infighting, backbiting going on within the Conservative Party now. It is ready to implode. There is going to be all-out civil war within the party, and it's a wonderful thing to behold. Any party that's ruled as long as them is bound to collapse in ignominy, and it is happening now. Because you have to remember that all these people voted for the Conservative Party didn't vote for the Conservative Party. That red wall in the north did not vote for the Conservative Party. They voted for Boris. Boris is the only man that can save them. Now, Boris is an awful human being, a liar, a serial adulterer, more children than he knows. He is not someone that you can trust. But he is, unfortunately, the only thing that can save the Tories. He won't win the election. I mean, you could put Boris in charge back again tomorrow. It wouldn't make a difference. The election is gone. The Tories are out. They're done. They're dusted. Game over. The only thing is, if with Boris in there, they may save a few seats. It may not be as all-encompassing a defeat as it will undoubtedly be should Rishi be there. So Rishi needs, if he wants to think of the party, to go and go now. And he can sod off to America. He has his green card. He can take his billionaire wife who doesn't pay a penny in tax in this country and, sod off to the States and never be heard of again. And then we can get Boris Johnson in to just sit there as a placeholder until the election. And then they have the election and then it's the Labour government. Because there's no way back for the Tories. They've had it their own way for too long and they have pissed it away. It's their own fault. No sympathy at all. But that's what happens. You have this Rishi Sunak's government has at every stage just made life worse for everyone. And one burden after another burden and another burden. There is no let up. There is no joy. Nothing in life is ever better when any party puts things on you like this. They claim it's for your good, but it never is. Anyway, we'll take a look at this article, see what the polls are saying, and see why there is this absolute civil war brewing in the Tory party, and then we will sit back and we will watch it collapse in ignominy and fighting and squabbling, and probably it could even end the Tory party forever. It's that serious. But then if you put in a man that everyone despises, what do you expect? Here goes. So Sunak faces collapse in Tory support as the party civil war over Boris hits them in a new poll. They are going down the plug hole so fast, it's eye-watering, it really is. A weekly Technique report UK tracker poll has revealed that Labour's lead has grown by 3% in the 7 days after Boris Johnson dramatically quit as MP. And they were already ahead. They're making huge strides. The Conservative Party is on course to witness its worst ever defeat at the polls after Labour's lead grew by 3 points this week. The devastating figures have dealt a hammer blow to Rishi Sunak's leadership as the Tories spent the last 7 days tearing the party apart in a civil war over Boris Johnson. And it is brilliant to watch. Now, Boris is out. He's gone. He's not coming back. I thought there may be a chance that he would have walked away simply to then announce that he's going to stand as a leader. He's going to re-stand somewhere else, get a seat, then walk back in and run for leader. And I thought that would be that'd be something he could do, and it's exactly the sort of thing you'd expect him to do. but he didn't. And I don't know why. I mean, it's the sort of thing that, you wouldn't expect any less from him, put it that way. And it would have deeply, deeply worried Rishi Sunak had he done so, because if he'd have been voted in a different constituency, that would have been a direct challenge to Rishi Sunak. He would have to address it head on. And of course, I don't think Rishi Sunak can address it head on. I think whatever he does now, he's finished. Anyway, this was followed within 24 hours by another former minister, Nigel Adams. Then the party became racked with recriminations. Nigel Adams quit as well. Nadine Dorries says she's going, but she hasn't gone yet. But I think she will. But I think what she's doing is she is timing it. Because you're going to have the seat, the election for Uxbridge, and then you're going to have Nigel Adams' election. But I think she's going to wait until they're almost sort of up ready to go, and then she'll go shortly after that, so that there will be several elections over a period of time, and so they're going to see defeat, rather than all at once get it out of the way with and done. And I think she's staying for that, and I think well done to her if that's the case. She's maximising the damage that she can cause to Rishi Sunak. Anyway, yesterday the Privileges Committee published its controversial and damning report stating Mr Johnson had deliberately misled Parliament. Johnson has done worse than that. I've done videos on this, but when you look at the number of dead children thanks to COVID, not the disease, but the lockup, the lockdown, putting people, vulnerable people in rooms and never letting them out for months on end with children, and the number of children that didn't survive it is horrendous. And that is what Boris Johnson needs to be facing the fire over. And indeed, Rishi Sunak as well, all of them, the entire cabinet that voted on this, all need to be going to court and stand there, look the victims in the faces, and then, go to jail for a very long time, including him. Anyway, a survey of 1,625 voters revealed Labour support had soared by 2 points to 44%. Meanwhile, the Tory support fell by 1 point to 28%. That is ridiculously low. One of the beneficiaries was Richard Tice's Reform UK party, which went up 1 to 6%, while the Lib Dems fell back 1 to 11%, and the Greens remained static on 5%, because there's only so many idiots out there that will vote for them. Michaela Marizzo, Chief Executive of Techni UK, said, "The political earthquake with its epicentre in the Conservative Party characterised the political week, and the shockwave involved Downing Street. They will be having meeting after meeting. They will be wondering what the hell is going on. Why is everything going completely crazy? What can they do about it?" Well, the answer is nothing. They can do nothing about it. As I say, even bringing Johnson back in as leader won't stop it. It will just merely reduce the Labour majority, but it will still be there. Johnson's resignation, he said, has moved the consensus, which, although limited to a single point, has highlighted the fact that the Conservatives are really struggling. So Keir Starmer Party increases its lead over Rishi Sunak's Conservatives to 16 points. These results may also bode badly for the upcoming 2 by-elections that have been called in Selby and Uxbridge and Ruislip South. An aura of uncertainty remains about what will happen in the coming weeks in the political arena. And when Boris Johnson's political plans will also become clearer. I wouldn't put it past him to stand for London Mayor again, to be honest. He actually was a good London Mayor. He was way better than Khan. Khan is just he's been there too long, and he's going mad with power now. He's trying to change everything like he's a dictator of a small country almost. He needs to go. But anyway, there we go. So that's there. The Tories are quivering like jellies at the thought of the next election. I think they'll probably won't call an early one, simply because they want to stay in power as long as they possibly can. Because they know that once they go to the polls, that's it. Probably for at least 2 elections. And they may never come back. This may destroy the party so badly, it may just collapse and go. It'll be the oldest political party in the world, and it may just evaporate because of Rishi Sunak. What a legacy. What a guy. Anyway, I shall stop there and come up. Thank you very much for listening. When a political party treats its own members with such contempt, it is no wonder it then goes on to have civil wars, it goes on to split asunder and collapse. Because ultimately it is the members that pay for the party, it's the members that vote for it. If you start antagonising your members, you very soon don't have a party. And that's what these people have to remember. They think that they're all above it. They're only there by the good graces of people who have paid their fees, paid their dues, who put out, their X in their box, every 4 or 5 years, whenever. That's what those people have got a job for. They are utterly reliant on their members. And then they treat their members with such contempt that they actually look at the person that they rejected and then put him in charge. And then is it any wonder this happens? Well, of course, while they're dealing with all their internal problems, the country's going to rack and ruin. Nobody is doing anything. It's always put a tax up here, put a tax up there. They're not the Conservative Party anymore. They're the Labour Party, the way they tax and spend. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned conservatism? Let's save the money. Let's have low taxes. That's gone out the window. They can't even call themselves Conservatives anymore. It's embarrassing. And so when they go, and it's about time they went, they look back on the shameful period of time that they were in power and at the awful things they've done. It makes you, it makes you wonder what goes through their minds. Are they really that stupid? Apparently so. There's no evidence to the contrary. Anyway, there we go. I finished there. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for paying attention if you've got to the end. My God, it's a longer one than usual. Anyway, if you like what you see here on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Remember, all politicians are liars, and goodbye.